What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Heroclix video. We are going over the second week of the Silver Age ROC Regionals. There were 3 events, one in New Jersey, one in Oregon, and one in Texas. And the winning archetypes there were Monster, Latveria, and Thanos. Be prepared to hear a lot of Thanos monsters in the metagame for the foreseeable future until we get new stuff, because those are the 2 most powerful archetypes right now. So just going over like the most played figures, what everything is looking like. Obviously going over quickly from week 1. Obviously it's the first time we're seeing all this, so there's going to be a lot of modern teams with some Silver Age tech, most notably just ID cards and maybe Groot. Obviously there's a lot of monsters because that is the top in the modern right now, and of course a lot of people are also really high on Thanos, so there's definitely been an increase in play in the second week because the metagame is formed. People are more informed with what's being played, what it looks like, and Thanos is really good. So just get right into it. The top figures that are played, the top 3 figures, not surprisingly, it's a monster. Number 1, it's Groot. Of course, I expected this to be up there fairly quickly. Week 1, people are still scrambling to get all their pieces because Groot is a non-modern piece. So once people get him by the second week, boom, there's a total of 10 copies, which is already more than Sky Tyrant from the week before. The second one is Molecule Man. And Molecule Man goes hand in hand with Thanos or Cosmic Teams, things like that, because he is just a staple on those types of teams. And with Thanos seeing an increase in play, of course Molecule Man will also see an increase in play. So that's the second most at 7. And then the last one is a tie between the 3 pieces, and these are the 3 of the bigger pieces, which are basically the format defining pieces if you really want to look at it. It's Sky Tyrant, Thanos, the Legacy, and Venom Magneto. Each of them have 6 copies in the top 8 lists. So you're just going to see those all the time, I think, until anything changes. But moving on to the ID cards, the most played ID is Green Arrow. Different from week 1, where we saw a couple of X-Men student cards and of course Flash. Green Arrow was there too, but now that people are seeing just how strong it is, and also because more Thanos are being played, which means you can call Green Arrow in now. So Green Arrows that leads the way with 9 copies, and then the second one is interesting, Captain Marvel. This is a really great ID call-in because the Captain Marvel of choice is going to be the super rare from the Captain American Avengers, the one that makes the Chewie Pug, so that she has hyper, prob, good stats, and she does the free damage when she moves through somebody, and then afterwards she gets to pop out a Chewie Pug, which has flurry, plasticity, giant reach 2 with blades and perplex. So even after Captain Marvel leaves, the bystander stays and can do more damage. So that's a really good incentive to play an ID card, because if you can leave something behind after your call-in, usually bodes well. And then the third one is Wolverine Bounty. The Wolverine that are normally being played here are just two main ones. It's the play at home kit Wolverine that has the 3-point values, I think 30, 60, and 100, so he's very versatile, or 30, 50, and 100, something like that, but it has charge flare exploit. And the other one would be the Headmaster Wolverine, because if you're playing X-Men teams, this Wolverine can retell, and it has a stop click, and if you're on the other side of the map, he's going to have flurry, so he can attack 3 times. Okay, and then moving on to the top objects, we have, of course, the Power Gem being the number 1 played object. Of course, the more you see Sky Tyrants and aggressive teams like that, you're always going to see Power Gem. And then the second most played is Alchemical Fire. That goes hand in hand with Thanos. So, kind of a lot of these, like the ID cards with the higher point call-ins, like Green Arrow and Captain Marvel, Molecule Man and Alchemical Fire, those are all going to see an increase in play because Thanos is seeing an increase in play, because Thanos is really big right now. And then just going over the metagame, the most played theme of the 24 lists are Monster. There's 8 copies. 4 cosmic teams, which are Thanos. 4 non-theme teams, which are usually like dropship type of good stuff teams, because it's hard to theme if you're playing like Overdrive or Waldo or Samcap or something like that. And then we have Latveria, which is interesting because Latveria also kind of doubles as cosmic sometimes. Once upon a time, Latveria was like the #1 team, and now it's just kind of afterthought now. So we'll see if we might, if Doom, the 4-armed Doom becomes more prevalent because of the IDs. Because Doom really kind of slows down those type of teams. Because if they have to use an action to call in an ID, and they use the ID to attack, they only have 1 more action. So that's something to look out for. And then just the other ones are Sentinel, Avengers, Deity, Battle World, Mystical, and Spider Family. So the metagame that what you should be expecting in Silver Age, just monsters and Thanos. Monsters cosmic. I'm sure there's going to be smattering of things like X-Men, dropship teams, things like that. But for the most part, you're going to be seeing a lot of Sky Tyrants, Blackhearts, Thanos. All right, those are the big 3. So, all right, well, that's the breakdown for the metagame for week 2. Join me next time when we go over week 3. And that's it. Let's see how the format adapts, or if it's going to be more of the same. And we'll see how many non-modern pieces are going to be popping up, because the first big one we saw there is Groot. Once upon a time, Groot was the best piece in the format, and I would say he's the best retaliator in the game. It just does so much for 20 points. But we'll see what other ID cards pop up, if there's any other new tech and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. So I'll see you next time, guys. Remember, only bad players play with dice. See ya.